Hey, welcome to the webinar on children's health. How are you this morning? Everyone good? Great. I am going to work on connecting this to Facebook, finding that Facebook audience, and then we'll get ourselves started. So good morning, good morning. Let me know what you're the most excited about in having a discussion about children's health this morning. And if you guys can't tell, I'm in a Mickey Mouse room. I thought we would make it kind of fun and really embody this children's health right here. But let's pull our Facebook family onto this discussion. And it's recording, which is great, which means if all goes well, we'll be able to get this up there on YouTube. And hopefully my internet stays strong enough. These are all the things we hope for on this summer morning. All right, Facebook may or may not happen. Let's see. Oh, yes. All right, we're streaming. Perfect. Perfect, perfect. This is great. Hey, Judy. Judith from Australia. That's great. Nice to see you, Judith. Thanks for joining us here this morning. Thanks to my friends also on Facebook. All right, let's share our screen and get started. We're going to keep this bright and brief as always when it comes to this. And I have to say, this is one of my favorite topics to share with you. When I started my own franchise in 2006, I was between my junior year and senior year of college. I didn't imagine that 14 years later, I would be having a conversation that is so important to me today, still about the same company. That didn't change. What changed was that I have 3 little babies of my own. My Ella, Brody, and Duke make this presentation to you so meaningful and applicable to me because there's nothing I would do. And if you guys have kids, or if you have, even nieces and nephews or cousins, or, people you love in your life, you know that all you want to do is to keep them healthy and safe. And although I know that my kisses make all their boo-boos feel better and go away, there's some things that I do every single day with my kids to make sure I keep them healthy against, just everything that's out there in the world. I mean, I wish I could go around and just, catch them every time they fall and wrap little bubbles around them and keep them safe. But there's things that I do specifically aligned with Market America, shop.com, nutraMetrix, and the DNA Miracles line that it, is like that for me. It's that little bubble that I try to put around my 3 beautiful children. And so I'm just going to speak to, for this presentation, specifically from the questions that I asked as navigating being a mom of my little kids. And I've had kids in a lot of different stages, now where I have Ella, who's entering the 1st grade next year. I mean, this is a whole new thing. This is a grade, just like in grade school for the first time. I'm all the way down to, being a new mom again to my little 6-month-old Duke. And so, looking at it from there, and then what are the questions that my girlfriends who are moms, what do they ask me? I just need to let you know that these statements have not been evaluated by the FDA. The FDA regulates food and drugs and does not, this isn't food, it's not a drug, it's a supplement and nutraceutical that we're talking about. So there's nothing here that can diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any disease. Do you guys have picky eaters? My kids are so picky, so picky. I mean, they're picky about the weirdest things. Like my kids will sit there and they will eat bags and bags of edamame. My kids, I have to always have seaweed snacks in the house because it's one of their favorite snacks to have. They're so picky. they're picky about weird things. And I'm so grateful that they're picky about healthy food. And those are the things that they ask for. But, you know, we need to make sure my kids eat the same thing day in and day out. So I always question and wonder, are they getting the right amounts of vitamins and minerals? It can be a challenge. You know, there are days too where they just get so busy, it's hard to even get them to sit down for a full meal. So when I think back with my husband, I'm like, did we eat the rainbow today? Did we even eat the rainbow this week? You know, to know that we're getting the vitamins and minerals in the proper amounts is always a big question as a parent, because we know that their bodies are growing. It's like it happens, you know, before your eyes. We just finished up another school year, and I take those obligatory, you know, in front of our house, first day of school, last day of school pictures. And it's always incredible to look back over 9 months and to say how much they've grown. And it doesn't even look like it when you see them every single day. But we know that they need these nutrients, and we need them to go into their body, and we want them delivered, because I don't want to spend money on things that aren't actually getting to my kids. So I want it to be fast, I want it to be efficient, and I want it to be in the right amounts that are just for them. And so with DNA Miracles, you can make sure that you're doing all that you can to support your children's health, but you also, you get a really nice pledge with that brand, with that seal that you see, that we're committed to quality and care. I love their tagline, because every child is a miracle. And I truly believe it. I'm going to try not to cry during this presentation about my little kids, because I do feel like that with them. And there's nothing that I would want more than, you know, just to be able to give them the best. I always say I really like to stack the odds in my family's favor. And if that means that I'm going to make sure that, you know, they can have all the nutrients, the building blocks that they can have for their little bodies, then that for me is stacking the odds in their favor. And it's a simple thing that you can do every single day to give the kids a strong nutrient foundation. That's all we're trying to do with supplements, is just make sure, you know, that we're bridging the gap there, because there are these select nutrients that the kids need. Their brains are growing so rapidly. They're learning new things before your eyes every single day. I mean, I was laughing with a friend the other day. We were talking about, you know, movies that we wish we maybe didn't expose to our kids. And I could think about just yesterday, we were flipping through channels, and my husband stopped on the movie Rookie of the Year, just a couple minutes of it, and the kids were in the room. And Rookie of the Year, that seems like a pretty, you know, benign movie. It's about this adolescent child who has some great ability and plays Major League Baseball. If you haven't seen it, it's just one of those feel good, you know, they played on the Disney Channel type movies. And there's this line in there where the little kid is taunting the pitcher, and he's saying, "Pitcher's got a big butt." And of course, that's now what my son, he goes around everywhere telling everyone that they have a big butt. And you're like, you can't say that. Goodness gracious. I mean, the things that they pick up on, and their brains are just little sponges absorbing everything, testing the limits. And we want to be able to support them in growing, although there's sometimes where you're like, you're growing up a little too fast, little one. As much as I want to slow them down, I want them to have that early nutrition to help them build the foundation for health through their lifetime. And, you know, like I said, my kids are picky, just like I'm sure your kids are picky eaters. You know, they're picky about their food. They're picky about their supplements too. I really like DNA Miracles because kids like choices. Oh my goodness. My 6-year-old and my 3-year-old, they feel like they are, you know, they love being autonomous. They love where they can, you know, do it themselves. That's what they always say. So especially when it comes to supplements, I love giving my kids an either or choice when I know that either answer is going to be good for me and good for them. And so being able to empower them, and I do that with a line like DNA Miracles. So one of the things that I use in my household is the DNA Miracles Isotonic Multivitamin. First of all, I love isotonics. We do this whole vitamin dance. Yes, it does have some butt wiggles associated in it. And when the kids drink their vitamins, you know, and they're all gone, that last drop, we all do a vitamin dance. We drink our vitamins at the same time. I have to say it starts with mom and dad exhibiting really great choices. Monkey see, monkey do, right? So mom and dad drink their vitamins every single morning. And guess who started saying, I want some, I want some? That was my kids. And so it's really great that I have a line right there. You know, I keep all my supplements in a Tupperware container. I keep that in the closet. So I take it out, the whole, all of my bottles together. And there is their DNA Miracles multivitamin right there. Being isotonic, it's powders and crystals. So when you mix them in the right ratio with water and you take it on an empty stomach as directed, you're going to absorb a good amount of it. You know, kids' stomachs are a little funny every single day, right? And so we want to make sure that not just are we, you know, investing in them, investing in a solid nutraceutical, but we're investing in one that's actually bioavailable, that they're going to get a good amount of those nutrients into their system. It's going to support a healthy immune system. I really love that there is, you know, some claims there for healthy teeth and gums, vision and eyes, strong bones, healthy growth and development. Kids really love the taste of it. It's sweet, which is nice for them. And my kids mix their Isotonics multivitamin with their Isotonics OPC3. It's about 4 ounces of water. Okay, I'm not gonna lie, there's some days it takes a little bit longer for little kids to drink 4 ounces of water. You know, you think about it, you and I, and we can just drink 4 ounces very quickly. So sometimes if I'm gonna mix these together and it is that full 4 ounces, I will throw a straw in there. We got lots of metal straws and plastic straws, you know, reusable straws in the house and fun colors. And so we'll throw that in there just to make it a little bit easier for them to drink it all. So it doesn't make it so it takes all day for me. OPC3 is something that's non-negotiable for me, non-negotiable for my kids. That strong antioxidant defense, the free radical scavenger. I really like that it does cross the blood-brain barrier. So for maintaining brain health, it's supporting the neurotransmitters. And then it's just going to help with everything, all that normal blood vessel dilation and circulation and healthy nitric oxide levels. And I like that it's formulated just for them, for their little bodies. You know, you can look at the dosing depending on how big your kid is or with the age of your children. And this is a great product. And the mixture of the two of them, the kids really like that mixture together. So that's what I give them. And you can cocktail any of the isotonics, meaning you can mix them all together in 1 cup so they don't have to take individual little shots of 2 ounces. Okay, probiotics in my house also are one of these. If we don't, you know, get in our Isotonics multivitamin and OPC3, if that, you know, the morning becomes a little bit too hectic for whatever reason, the probiotics for me, because I think that the road to good health is paved with good intestines. There's a lot of great things that happen in the gut. Again, I like the diversity of the probiotic line, that there's lots of different choices. So I'm going to go through these different choices and how I use them with my family. But our chewable probiotics are our favorite. There's 5 billion bacteria in each little chewable tablet. And so this is going to help with bacterial balance, digestion, bowel regularity. These are all really important things. Somehow I became a mom and most of what I talk about is poop. Did he poop? Has he pooped yet? He has to poop. Who's going to change him? Did you bring the diapers? What did the poop look like? How did it go? I had no idea I was going to talk to my husband so much about poop. But yeah, this is a really great product to be able to help with that stomach comfort, bowel regularity, you know, especially as the kids then can express if they have to poop or they're having trouble with pooping. My kids, though, take this at night. We make this as part of our bedtime routine. I don't know about you, but kids, if you've ever watched a kid brush their teeth, like you can tell them and you can brush their teeth for them, but it's never perfect, right? And I really like the chewable aspect of it and the fact that it does support healthy teeth and gums. Digestion starts in the mouth. And I love giving my kids that added support and that they have that. And it's just part of our nighttime routine is our vitamins. They get really upset, my kids, when we run out of vitamins, because if anything's off in that bedtime routine, it's of course just an excuse to stay up a little bit longer. and they have a win in their column for the negotiating. So I make sure that we always keep these in stock. But it's great because it does have this live back tableting process. So the thing that's really important when I talk to other moms, especially about probiotics, I talk to them about the fact that they're really hard to stay shelf stable, meaning from the time that they go from manufacturing to distribution to on your shelf at home, you probably, a lot of them you have to keep in the refrigerator because you've got to keep those little probiotics alive. But this uses a patented technology called live back to make sure that the probiotics are still alive, in your tablets. And then it's not until you go ahead and take them that that whole process is activated. I really like also the diversity in strains in this particular product. So there's 5 different strains that was formulated just for the kids. So with 5 billion bacteria and 5 different strains, this for me is a home run. And this is our probiotic of choice for my little kids. And like I said, it's part of the nighttime routine. But kids get picky and kids choose different things. And so it's nice to have an either or. It's also nice to, so I can say, do you want to chew it or do you want this Flora Melt? So this is another option right here. This is going to help too with a healthy microflora balance in the GI tract. A lot of the same claims with stomach comfort, bowel regularity. This has a prebiotic and a probiotic source to it. And so it's a little bit different, the blend of probiotics that are in here. This one has lactospore. It has 1.5 billion lactospores in there. And it's going to really help with the healthy microflora balance in the GI tract. So they come in these little stick packs. It's a powder. I like to say it's like a pixie stick, but I wouldn't recommend giving it to your kids like a pixie stick. So this is really the best way to do this is to, melt it with food, throw it in a drink. You can go ahead and dissolve it on the tongue. It's very powdery. It can make a big mess. So my favorite way is just to put it in something that they're eating or they're drinking anyways. And it has a really nice fruit punch flavor to it. And so, depending on if your kids would rather chew a tablet or, mix something into food or beverage, and then depending on, which strains of probiotics you're looking for your kids, this is also another fun one. So, I find I stick these with me when we travel, especially too, because I can just easily throw them in the diaper bag, stick them in there in a smoothie or, something that we're having, an applesauce, and just throw it in there and they don't even know. And that's really great for me, and I can sneak in some supplements into their diet. This is one that I've used with all my kids since birth. And so this is typically what I'll do for the first 2 years with them is the DNA Miracles Probiotic Extra. So my little Duke, he's on this, and this is great for him to support his intestinal health, his postnatal development of his gastrointestinal tract flora, his little immune system. I mean, little Duke was born in a time when that's what everyone's been talking about. I also was a little bit nervous myself because I had some antibiotics during labor with him. And so even though he was born vaginally and not via a C-section, so that's something to think about as well. When it comes to babies, a lot of babies born via C-section don't have the same intestinal flora as babies born vaginally. But even though all 3 of mine were vaginal births, I still think it's really important to be able to support their little immune systems in the best way that I can. And so this has, all the scientifically documented bacterial strains. There's no sweeteners. It has no taste. I've tasted it. No color. There's no preservatives. And my favorite thing about this product is that it has 400 units of vitamin D. So the pediatrician, I remember when I first had Ella, and this product wasn't even on the market yet, the pediatrician said to me to, go ahead and supplement with vitamin D. That was the recommendation for breastfed babies. And so I'm like, great, thinking this is fantastic. And I'm sure she's going to either, tell me that when I leave and book my next appointment, I can just purchase a vitamin D there, or she's going to tell me, you know, where I can go at the vitamin shop or Whole Foods or wherever and her favorite vitamin D. No, she had no idea. She didn't know the type of vitamin D. She didn't know the brand that was going to be recommended. It was so frustrating for me as a new mom. I had another thing on my to-do list. I had to go research it. I had to find a good one. I had to find one. I know too much. I've worked with, you know, supplements since 2006. I know enough to make me dangerous, to ask a lot of questions that were really hard for me to find answers. So when this product came out in time for my second to use it, I was so thankful that I had something that I knew that was going to have no sweeteners, colors, preservatives, and was going to have both the blend of the vitamin D I was looking for to give my kids every single day, combined with the fact that it was also going to have some probiotics. So up until age 2, you mix 1 level scoopful with water, juice, infant formula, food. You can mix it with breast milk. Just for the first 2 weeks or first week, you just do 1/4 of a scoop into, you know, whatever you're doing. So I usually mix mine with a little bit of breast milk. My son now, he takes it, I just do it with a dropper because we're together most days, so he doesn't get a whole lot of bottles. And so it's really simple. My kids have always had a good time taking it, and then I have confidence as a mom that they're getting everything I'm looking for. This right here, if I'm going to talk about digestive enzymes to anyone, I have to say, out of all of the digestive enzymes that the company has, this is my favorite. It's a really nice blend of digestive enzymes for really important nutrients, supporting normal digestion and providing enzymes for the absorption of nutrients. What I like about this one, and I even sometimes recommend that adults take a closer look at this particular blend of digestive enzymes, is that it helps support normal digestion of grains, the gluten, and dairy, casein. And it's going to support a healthy digestive tract, normal growth of intestinal cells, stomach comfort, and the bowel regularity. I mean, as much as we try to feed our kids the things that we want to feed them, I know birthday parties come up. I know for me, we were celebrating the end of school and the ice cream truck, you know, came to the neighborhood to celebrate with all the kids. And sometimes my kids, that just doesn't bode well for them, their little tummies, their little systems. I know that my husband has some issues with lactose genetically. Through nutraMetrix, he's done a gene snip DNA analysis, and he's seen that. So there's a good chance that some of my little kids are going to have the same problems. And I noticed that, and especially with the middle one, my son Brody. Now there's times where he eats certain things and he'll even say, he says, my belly's full, mama. And I know that doesn't mean that he's just full because he ate too much. That's his way of telling me he has a bellyache. And so digestive enzymes has been really great for those times where I know that, you know, we maybe didn't make the best choices. We didn't have the best choices available. It was too hard for mom to say, no, you can't celebrate. And so, you know, having that there to help support him is really great for me. This is another fun one too. And you know, when we think about brain health, we think about omega-3s. Omega-3s, a lot of people know that, you know, that's really important for brains. It's important for a healthy immune response. It's a great blend of the 2 essential fatty acids, EPA and DHA. And just a reminder, what does essential mean? Essential means that your body doesn't make it, so you have to take it. How many times do you have kids that they don't want to eat fish? They don't, you know, they're not doing flaxseed like we might be doing. They're not doing nuts and seeds like we might be doing. It's really hard to get that great ratio of omegas that they need. They really need it. This has such a great taste to it. Kind of tastes like an orange creamsicle. You do keep this one in the fridge and you just squirt it into a tablespoon. My kids love it. And if you look at this compared to, you know, some other leading brands, it has 500, you know, of the EPA per serving, 300 DHA for a total of 1,000 omega-3s, you know, which is almost double what a lot of the other leading brands have. And so if you look at the whole DNA Miracles line, it is best taken as a full regimen. So with a, you know, multivitamin, OPC3, probiotics, and then looking at the omegas. So really as a full line is the best way. What I didn't mention in this presentation, but as another option too, OPC3 chews, so another thing to be able to give the kids that either or, if they want to take something in isotonic, which I find is easy, especially if they're taking that isotonic multivitamin, to mix that together. But every now and then you do need an either or. So we do have the OPC3 in the chewable formulation. But those 5 products, that's the regimen that my kids are on. And, every child is a miracle. This is a really important line to me. And I hope that you share this with your other mom friends, dispense some information, talk to people, sample them, try them because they taste really great. I always tell people, I'll, give you a bottle. If your kids don't like it, just give it back to me because my kids are going to use it anyways. And that's a great way for me to be able to share DNA Miracles with my friends, with my circle of influence.